friends. Thank you for listening to Bizarrely Carly. Thinking about a name change. If you have any suggestions of what I could change the name of this podcast to, send me a message and let me know. I'd be curious as to what you could come up with. Maybe I'll choose it. Maybe there'll be a prize. Maybe that can be our first contest. Actually, it already was a contest. That's how we got this name. Grace, you won. I actually do love the name, but change is good sometimes, so let's see. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. We're currently in a lockdown in Ontario. It's kind of a crazy thing not being able to go out and visit your family members and do things. I'll limit myself, I think, to a certain amount of minutes each episode maximum that I'm allowed to talk about COVID. Quite honestly, I'm sick of seeing it shoved in our faces. It's hard enough to maintain normal life, but Grandma's calling me. Hold on. She's going for a short walk. Alright, that's what happens when you record your podcast at Grandma's house. Anywho's, I really wanted to talk about something pretty personal in this episode, and I realized something. My anxiety stems from the idea of putting myself out there. I need to break out of my cages. I would consider that my confidence, or lack thereof, and my inhibitions. If I were to follow my heart in this podcast, it would be to share my story. It would be to share personal experiences and my thoughts. I mean, isn't that what a podcast is anyways, a lot of the time? I know it's not unique, my story, but I hope I could help someone who perhaps feels alone. Because I've been in a position to where I felt alone. I never, to my knowledge, knew anyone who had BPD. I had never even heard of it when I was diagnosed. And for those of you who don't know, BPD is borderline personality disorder. And so up until that point, I had no way of identifying what I was going through. I had no way of understanding what I was going through. So I felt alone, I felt scared. And it wasn't until I was told what was going on that I was able to then find the answers, how to deal with it, fix it. I saw people that had the same thing and they were going through the same thing, and it made it all just a little bit better. Suddenly, I wasn't alone anymore. And so if I could be that person for even one person, then it's worth it to me. But I got off on a tangent there a little bit. And at the very least, perhaps I could help guide someone, to some of the proper resources if they need it. I've had a very difficult time navigating the system that is our mental health system here in Niagara, and I have a background in that field, and I still struggle with navigating the system. I can't imagine how somebody who has schizophrenia would feel trying to navigate the system. Somebody who has crippling anxiety or maybe OCD. I'm in a very good position. I'm very fortunate that I was able to speak my voice and fight for what I needed. I'll talk about that a little more later. But once again, I'm on a tangent. But yeah, if anybody needs any help finding the resources, then contact me and I'll be more than happy to help you the best I can. But back to the anxiety that I was having about sharing my story and the reasons why I struggle with it, even though in my heart I feel it's the right thing for me to do, is because people judge. That's the reality of it. People judge people based on their sexual orientation, mental illness, appearance, and even just their opinions on different topics, not to mention many other things. There's my second trigger for anxiety: confrontation. Once people pass judgment, it's only a matter of time before someone confronts you about it. That's about the moment when I freeze and want to throw up and run away. I realize it comes down to the passion, having to outweigh the fear. Building the confidence to follow your heart, no matter who passes judgment. I want to live my truth. If I have to go through these struggles, I want something positive to come out of it. Today's the last day of 2020. And although I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, I would like to challenge each of you to do something in the new year to break down